All right, Unit 4, Lesson 5 homework. Let's get started. Let's get right into it. Okay, 34 times 519. The first thing I want us to be focused on is we know that we got 2 digits on the bottom here. Okay, so the first thing we really want to remember is to put our placement 0 down here. Okay, and if you guys are wondering, why do we need a placement 0 in the second row? Because when we do our second row, we're going to be multiplying 3 times those top numbers. But are we really multiplying 3? Or are we multiplying 30? Because this 3 is in the tens place. So what's going to happen is, since the 3 is in the tens place, we're not multiplying 3 times 519. We're multiplying 30 times 519. So we're going to put this placement 0 here in this second row so we don't forget. Because basically, it's pretty much when you put that 0 there, it's equivalent to just multiplying everything by 10. So, okay, now that we've multiplied the second row everything by 10, we're able to just say, okay, 3 times that, 3 times that. Okay, does that make sense? I'll keep talking about it, but I want to give reasoning for why that placement 0 is going to go there. Because when we do get to our 3's, we're multiplying 30 instead of 3. All right, well, anyway, let's get into it. It'll make more sense when I talk more about it. So, we're going to start with our 4. We want to start with our 1's place and then go on. So, 4 times 9, you should know that's 36. You should already know. You've been dealing with Web Math Minute. You should already know 4 times 9. You shouldn't even be... y'all should see me. I'm saying 4 times 9 should be 36. It should come up right in your head. 36. All right? I shouldn't even be able to finish. You should be thinking in your head 4 times 36. You should be able to read my mind. All right? So 4 times 9 is 36. Let's go ahead and drop our 6 and raise our 3. Okay? Now, we can do 4 times 1. We all know that is 4. Plus 3 that we pulled up there is 7. Okay? Notice I'm trying to keep everything as neat as possible. This is my 1's row. This is my 10's row and my 100's row. Okay? Now, our last step would be 4 times 5. And since you've been doing your Web Math Minute, you know your times tables. 4 times 5 is 20. Let's go ahead and drop that all the way down. So our first row, we got 2,076. And we got our placement 0 right under. And we're ready to go ahead and just multiply 3 times all of these because we already put our placement 0 down here. Okay? So let's talk about it. All right, I'm going to cross out our 3 because we don't really need it so much right now anymore. And we don't want to get confused. But keep it up there, but just kind of cross it out. All right? So now we're going to take 3 and do everything we did with the 4. 3 times 9, you should know, is 27. Let's drop our 7 and raise our 2 up here. I'll put it on this side. Now, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So there we go. We got our 5. And now, finish up. 3 times 5 is 15. So let's go ahead and put our 15 down. And notice how it's almost obnoxious how much space I have between these numbers. I'm doing that because we want to keep it neat. Because the longer we start doing these problems and the bigger the problems get, it'll be like sometimes we might have... It's just easier to not make mistakes if you're neat and have a lot of spacing with your placement value, okay? So now we can just add, okay? 6 plus 0 is 6. 7 plus 7 is how much? I can't. Come on now. I can't hear you. You got to speak up. You got to speak up, okay? 7 plus 7 is 14. We'll drop our 4. Raise our 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then we just got our 1. So our answer for 34 times 519 is 17,646. Okay, let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into problem 2. Let me hurry up here. See here. And I'm going to set it up the same way. I almost want to make it like have so much. I want to have a lot of space in between. So everything has its own room placement value wise. This next problem, 274 times 82. Okay, and we're doing it the same way, standard algorithm. The first thing we want to do is, because our second row, it's not going to be 8 times 274, it's going to be 80 times 274. So the easiest way to go about dealing with this is just to go ahead and put our placement 0 in that second row. The second row beneath the ones place, okay? Because y'all already know adding a 0 is like multiplying it by 10. So instead of having to think, oh, it's 80 times all those, 80 times all those, 80 times all those, just put the 0 there, because it automatically multiplies that whole number by 10. So now we can just go ahead and multiply 8 when we get to that row. So let's handle our first row. We're going to multiply 2 times all these numbers up here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 7 is 14. I will drop my 4, raise my 1. And now 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Okay? So our first row would be 548. All right? Any questions? Good, because I can't hear you no way. All right, so the second row, we got our placement 0 down here. So we can just go ahead and multiply 8 times our first row, and it'll go over here. 8 times 4 is 32. Let's drop our 2, raise our 3, put it up here. 8 times 7, you should know, is 56. And then we're going to add our 3, which makes it 59. So drop the 9 and raise your 5 up here. Okay? Now, 8 times 2 is 16, but we got our 5. So 16 plus 5 is 21. So we'll go ahead and just add that, 21. All right? So now we got our first row, we got our second row, we got our spacing. If I wanted to, I could literally draw all the way down here, because I got so much space that I won't have any confusion when I go to, when I go to add my numbers, okay? Now straight up, 8 plus 0 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6, 9 plus 5 is 14, drop your 4, raise your 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, and then you got your 2. So our answer is 22,468. All right, any questions? I still can't hear you. Yeah, it's crazy. Okay, so since there are no questions, I want you to go to problem 3, and you will complete that problem with no help. But I'm not leaving you on an island, because if you need help with problem 3, you can literally just, that was a rewind sound, rewind this video, and you can see the exact strategy of how to solve problem 3, but with those different numbers. And I also want you to check your answer with the box method, all right? So then when you get on the test, it'll be dope, because you're going to learn, you know, the standard algorithm, you know, the box method. Let's say you do the problem on the test with the box method, check it with your standard algorithm. Now you on the test and you literally like, man, I did it with the box method. I did it with the standard algorithm. I got the same answer. You should feel very confident. If you're using 2 different methods and get the same answer, you probably won't have no questions as to if you got that answer right on the test, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're learning different methods, so we got different tools in our toolbox, okay? You can't just do everything with a hammer. You need a hammer, you need a wrench, a drill. You need all types of tools in your toolbox if you're going to be successful, okay? I talk like I don't know anything about like tools or putting things together. But it sounds good, okay? All right.